Most of my friends aren't outdoor folks, so they think I'm crazy for doing this stuff.
There's a geometry to it. There's a way to cut it in an appropriate way. There's ways to do it safe. And so part of it, there's a little puzzle to try to figure out. And I love that part of it too, is just figuring out the puzzle.
First, you have to evaluate to see, try to see what the log is going to do and clear out around it and figure out where you want to cut where there's not branches and stuff sticking in the way.
1, 2, 3.
Then we had to move the log out off the trail. So the easiest way to do that is everybody sit on their butt and push with your legs because that's your strongest muscles.
2, 3, push.
And it's amazing how big a log you can move when you're using your legs.
Yeah, we had a lot of butt power in that one today.
There's just a bond that starts to happen just by doing things, and especially physical things like the saws or talking up through a problem. How are you going to cut this, or picking up a log and throwing it or moving it or pushing it with your feet. And then you start hiking and all of a sudden you start talking and you start to learn a lot about people. And then you come back to camp and everybody's a little silly and it's just fun.
I enjoy being out in the wilderness. I'm seeing places that I've never seen before. And the people that I meet on these, it's like we're all like-minded people. We have the same purpose. We have the same goals. So everybody gets along. It's really a bonding experience with everybody.
I'm out here at White Goat Lake in the Frank Church River No Return Wilderness. I'm here with the Idaho Trails Association. We're on a 7-day trip working on trails, cutting down logs across the trail and doing other trail maintenance kind of stuff. This is a great way to meet new people. So I tell my friends, you know, if you're looking for something to do and meet new people and get some exercise and get into the backcountry and see new places, this is a great thing to do.
You get folks who've never worked a Pulaski, never worked a Pickmatics, never worked a crosscut. They catch it. They figure it out. They want to get stuff done. So we're out here for the experience and we're out here for the work. And it's magic. We're all over the state, and as a volunteer group, we're bringing people into the public lands. We are bringing people out to do incredibly great work, and we're exposing people to this great place. Wildlife can get around on game trails, but people really need a good trail. We're sustaining this trail network, and it's slipping away. We're losing it, but we're just helping sustain, we're helping the Forest Service, the BLM, the National Park Service, sustain this wonderful resource that allows people to get out in these really wild places, these places that, you know, you really can't get there without a trail. These trails were put in 100 years ago. They were put in with the same tools, the crosscut saw, the axe, horses, mules, backs, strong backs. We're connected multi-generations going back with the people who put together this whole incredible trail resource. And it's an amazing resource that we want to help sustain and we want to help people appreciate.
Sometimes those tools are pretty heavy to carry for the day. They get pretty heavy coming back. You definitely are glad to set them down at the end of the day. We've got silkies, which are hand saws. We've got shorter hand saws like this. We've got loppers, some smaller loppers, some bigger loppers. We've got, of course, the crosscut saws, which are a little hard to carry, just awkward. Also, we have Pulaskis. A Pulaski has an axe on one end and a digging tool on the other. So you can dig with it, and then you could also use the other side as an axe.
I mean, the crosscut is a really fine tool, and 2 people are required to do it. It's a 2-handled saw, and that's where you can really get good work done. And they got to talk to each other, and they got to be paying attention to each other and the log and themselves.
What I really like is With the teamwork, we're just in there, we're doing it together, we're all doing the best we can, and the results are always the same. It's like you're done and you cut it and you feel very satisfied.
This year we did 98 projects. We had 400 miles of trail. We had over 900 volunteer spots filled. We had over 16,000 volunteer hours. I think almost 6,000 logs cut. Take that back 15 years, it's thousands of people and thousands of miles of trail. So many volunteer hours. That's pretty incredible. I mean, there wouldn't be an ITA without volunteers. We have 4 full-time staff. We can only cut so many trees between the 4 of us, and so if we didn't have volunteers, we wouldn't exist.
The importance of volunteers, I mean, they can't be understated. The agency relies very heavily on volunteers. The Forest Service has been generally underfunded in recreation and trails. And then you have groups like the Idaho Trail Association. You have folks like the Continental Divide Trail Coalition and some of those groups.
They do incredible work. We're cutting out logs, we're digging tread, we're doing real work. But as an organization, we're also advocating for trails. We're advocating for public lands. We're advocating for the wilderness. We have to push the people who make decisions to try to see that there's the community support, there's a citizen support, there's a political support for trails, for public lands, for wilderness.
The White Goat Project, we had pack support, so people with mules and horses to carry in and out the gear for the crew and all the food. So that's a much easier ask for a volunteer. So you weren't necessarily beholden to just freeze-dried food the whole time. You could have some luxuries, which sometimes luxuries is just cheese and a bigger sleeping bag, but those make a huge difference when you're out there for a week. We've got trips where we'll take a tiny backcountry airplane, a little Cessna, and we'll fly people into the backcountry airstrips, drop them off for a week. We've got projects where we'll jet boat up, like a lot in Hell's Canyon. We've got projects where we'll set you up with a full kitchen and all the food provided, and we'll send a cook in to cook for you. And then some are just good old-fashioned, like you're carrying all your stuff and you're backpacking yourself in and out, and those are fun too. Whatever we can do to make it fun and accessible and productive, we'll do it.
We're really lucky this time of year to be able to have a fire. It's definitely made it a lot more comfortable and given us a place to really gather as a group. We got the tarp set up first thing when we got here because we knew we were going to have rain. And thank goodness that we got that tarp, but because it rained like crazy the first night we were here. And it looks right over to the lake, and we've been watching the rain go across the lake and the winds come through and then it calms down and the lake is just gorgeous and the reflections of the mountains on the lake has just been amazing.
Work is why we're out here, but what we're doing is we're being in the wilderness, we're gonna experience trails, we're gonna learn about how to work together.
The first thing you do when you get together as a crew is you circle up and you go over safety and debrief all the tools and the different rules and stuff like that. But then every morning, a lot of crew leaders will group people up to stretch and talk about the plan for the day. Getting feedback from everyone on how they're feeling and maybe what are we gonna do tomorrow, and starting to plan ahead. So a lot of crews start with a big circle in the morning. The number one reason people say that they enjoyed it was the camaraderie, the great crew, the laughs, the teamwork, meeting like-minded people. And then, I've heard of different people meeting new friends through ITA, and some people will all sign up together. They want to do a trip again.
It's a lot of fun. There's a great crew that we have. It's just a good way to get stuff done, and you meet some wonderful people out here.